You're listening to The Monetized Mom, the podcast that teaches moms of faith how to monetize their expertise online to create influence, impact, income, and more importantly, financial independence. I'm your host, Flo Alexander. Let's chat. This, like all podcast episodes, is a transparent one. Not so much focused on business strategy as much as it is life. I wanted to dedicate an episode to talking about the realities of motherhood, business, and life. Since I've been away from social media, I've really had time to reflect on all three of these things, more so what I wanted them to look like for me. And honestly, one of the things that I struggled with was balancing, and I do that in air quotes, all three in a way that I was comfortable with. In my own evaluation, I was doing a whole lot of mothering, wifing, and businessing, but not a lot of lifing. I'd often have conversations with my entrepreneur friends who happen to be moms, and I'd get asked, when was the last time you took a break from everything? Or we'd be discussing the new hobbies that we wanted to get into, but seemed to never start by the time we next chatted. I never had time where I could say that I took a full out break from everything. I mean, where the kids are being taken care of by someone else, I'm not doing business work or housework. And I'm just doing something that I enjoy for the sake of enjoyment. Now, don't get me wrong. And just in case my husband is listening to this, I do have time solely dedicated to me. All right. We have a system in our marriage where we give each other days to have that break. And if you're listening to this, you're probably a mom and you get it. Like, we just need a breather some days. But for me, it often became running errands and doing personal maintenance and not true relaxation. I was always mentally on. What needs to be done at the house? What are we going to eat? What do the kids need? What does my husband need? What needs to be handled in the business? What do I need to delegate? And you can probably relate to this, whether you're a business owner or not. The mental tabs in your brain is probably worse than the physical work that has to be done. So I went on a mission to find a way out of the mental maze and focus on fulfillment outside of business, kids, and husband. I made it a part of my quarterly planning, which I'll probably do an episode on. And I sat down and wrote exactly what I was going to do for fulfillment this quarter. And it's probably going to extend beyond this quarter. But the point was, I wanted to get it written down and I wanted to have a plan and put something in place to make me do this exercise. Planning your fulfillment is an exercise that all moms should do. Regardless if you're in business or not, this is something that you should do. And in my planning, I came up with two things that I wanted to do for my own fulfillment. And these were things that I had done before, but kind of fell off. But I'm like, no, we're starting it back up. So the first was going back to getting my nails done because, child, battered, bruised, and torn are these nails. So I'm getting my nails done again. So that's the first thing. And the second thing for me was doing puzzles, which is now my new hobby, which was also an old hobby that I'm just reviving. Okay. I wanted something that made me feel good, which was the nails, and another thing that allowed me to take my mind off of things, to shut the brain down. I know a lot of entrepreneurs can attest to this. Our brains be on 24/7. And as much as people like to say, oh, entrepreneurship gives you freedom from a job, from a 9 to 5, entrepreneurship, though you may not be physically working 24/7, the hours that you're not sleeping, there's a large likelihood that you are thinking about something in your business. I needed something to turn that off. I had two rules for my new hobby. One, I could do it inside because it's too hot right now. Two, it wasn't messy. And three, it didn't cost much. And my past hobbies were expensive. If you guys have been around for a long time, you guys know I have done DIY sewing. I made my own clothes. That was expensive, one, but it was time consuming. It was very messy. Like, it was just a lot of prep. And I'm like, not into that in this season of my life. Maybe when I'm an empty nester, I'll go back to, the DIY stuff, the crocheting, might even learn how to knit and all that stuff. I love it, but not this season. So my thing was, again, inside, wasn't messy. It didn't cost much. Okay. So this honestly has been the best decision I have ever made. I shared my little list with my husband. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing for fulfillment. Prepare the budget, okay, for the nails. So let's prepare the budget for the nails, but the nails and, of course, like I just said, doing the puzzles. Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I often find myself doing the puzzles versus all the other stuff that needs to be done in the house, but I need that. I have prioritized the work, the physical work and the mental work before. And just for now, I need to prioritize the peace and calmness of doing something fulfilling. So doing this has become a part of my daily routine, and I absolutely love it, y'all. My kids they're like, Mommy, can we help? I'm like, no, stay off my puzzle. And so now they have their own puzzles that they can work on. And so now it's a cute little family thing that we can do. I can work on my puzzle. They can work on their puzzle. And I think it's good for their learning and development, quite honestly, allowing them to critically think, problem solve. I'm pretty sure there's some science that's backed by kids being able to do puzzles. So I'm just going to stick with that. So here's the thing. I would encourage you to find that fulfilling thing as you are trying to balance motherhood, business. Maybe you have a 9 to 5 and just general life stuff. Find something that's fulfilling to you and not just personal maintenance. The thing is, like, what we do as mothers is a lot. And you don't understand that until you're a mother, how much mothers pour out. And a lot of times their cups aren't filled. So if we think back to our mothers and maybe the stress that they were under, and you realize, oh, what, like she probably didn't have time to do anything fulfilling, or maybe she just didn't have the capacity to do anything fulfilling. Stop the cycle, find something that fulfills you. And I want you to do it often. I want you to fill your cup often. All right. Find something that's going to fulfill you, that's not related to your spouse, that's not related to your kids, that's not related to your business, something that takes your mind off of all those things, because there are enough things attached to that. There's enough responsibility attached to that. Find something that's going to fulfill you. All right. And do it often. So that's my challenge for you. If this is something that you struggle with, understanding the reality of motherhood, being a wife, owning a business, maybe working a 9 to 5, and just balancing life. Like, you have to take time for yourself and fill your cup. All right. So that's it. That's the episode. If you enjoyed it, leave a review and give it a 5-star rating so that it can reach more moms like you. Hope you guys like episodes like this, because I plan to bring more of them. But until then, I'll talk to you in the next episode.